Talk a little bit about Jeff's plans with you. So Jeff brought in a 2008 John Deere DB60, the rare one, the DB44/60, when nobody could get along back in the days. And it's roughly about 35,000 acres right now.
Yep.
Okay. So he wanted to make a change. He came to us at the Winter Planter Clinic that we host every year, and we were talking about multi-hybrid then. We were talking about that next level of farming here. And as Troy alluded to earlier, this level is going to overtake where we've been with Delta Force the past few years, which has been absolutely great. So Jeff brought us in the corn planter, and I really wish you could see the picture here, but you happen to see there, the right-hand side is Jeff's corn planter, and Garrett has got his arms up in the air, and he is just enthusiastic about this build. We had in this picture, this bar was stripped down to the bare row unit and not much else. So for this corn planter, we added the 2020 seed sense monitor, Field View Plus, the V-Set Select multi-hybrid beaters, Delta Force hydraulic downforce, clean sweep cylinders, and wave vision seed tubes. Standard complementing package there with the seed tubes and the clean sweep cylinders, managing trash and giving us an accurate readout on what we're doing as far as our seed. So we'll fire up our first question here. In this map, we have two different screenshots here from field view. On the left hand, we have downforce as measured on the gauge wheels versus the applied downforce to the row unit. On the right hand side, we have a hybrid map, which is the blue and orange and green one, and then on the far right hand side, we have the population map. So you can see where we put the different hybrids in this field match up to our zones. We talked a lot, you'll hear the terms offensive and defensive hybrids, hybrid A, hybrid B, and that's what we're alluding to. So, Jeff, I'm going to ask you this first question here. Comparing this season versus all of your previous years of planting, what kind of feeling did you carry in the cattle watching this type of data come in?
Well, it was always kind of attention to detail, get the planter ready to go, but you always had that sixth sense that you didn't have something checked. And with the 2020 Pro Sense and the Delta Force, I could keep an eye on the monitor in the cab as we were planting through the field, watching the simulation, watching the ride, and being able to adjust the automatic Delta downforce throughout the field if it got a little bit too high in areas, we could back down. And when I went through those areas, I was always a firm believer, the more pressure, the last thing you wanted to do was have the gauge wheels come out of contact with the ground. So with the pneumatic system that we had been running, I would always err on the side of caution and put a little bit more pressure on if it looked like our seed was lifting out of the ground. And we had some spots where we were, 80–90% happy with the seed placement. You run into those spots where you would run into a little crashier area, so you would just automatically just tweak a little bit and give it a little bit more down pressure. It wasn't until this was actually the fourth field that I planted we get into this field, and part of it was work. It was actually a new field that we just picked up in the last year or two, and it had been farmed east and west. And I like to have my corn all facing north and south, just the way I do things. And so you could see as the planter went across those ridges from the years before, where it was actually lifting, applying down pressure, and it's all instantaneous. So when you go through the field, it was really adapting quickly to the soil types and the soil density. And I didn't realize that we were applying way too much pressure in years previously to what we actually ended up with this year. I mean, just about all of the maps, we've got more blue and green than we have the dark, the red colors applying a lot of downforce. So.
Sure. So what Jeff is alluding to here, on this left-hand set of images here, you're going to see those marks horizontally from previous years of farming practices, whether tillage was run at a slight angle or the planter was run straight east and west. Even with some tillage, we're still picking up on those. And that's what Troy alluded to. Even in conventional till environment, we're still picking up compaction and different ground circumstances from years prior. So Jeff, I have a question for you before we move on to the next slide here. This portion of the field, the southwest, why was that planter lifting? If you look at the bar legend down here, we have negative values. Why were we lifting in this portion of the field versus the rest of it?
Well, that just happens to be where the landowner wanted to spread manure. And the field had already been up, we had double shot it the year before, it was beans previous. And field had been double shot, I planned on just going in and hitting the leg vertical tillage pass and planting the field. And he called me up and he said, I got 100 loads of manure we want to spread in this corner. And I said, well, let's just keep it right next to the buildings and we'll spread that. So I knew that with the chunks of manure and the frozen stuff that we had out there, that we weren't going to get it incorporated in a single pass for the vertical tillage. So I actually took my 513 rotary ripper up there and incorporated that into the soil because I figured we're going to have more nutrient gathered up if we have it incorporated. So I worked it straight back and forth as the truck spread it. We had a huge compaction problem. I was rolling up chunks of soil that was actually really compacted in that area. And did it once with the vertical tillage when I did the rest of the field. And as you can see, it lifted all the way across there.
So there's a perfect scenario here of different types of tillage practices in a field and showing different amounts of downforce. And this is exactly what we've seen with any sort of deep tillage here in a river area. Even after it's followed with a chisel or a field cultivator or vertical tillage, you'll still see those deep tillage marks show up. So that's a really good image, one that I was happy to see show up on field view so clearly so we can continue to learn from these types of images. We'll get on to the next one here. This one's tough to see, but you've hopefully seen it shared on social media. Pretty popular. On the top, we have a UAV image of this field. Jeff, this field here is under irrigation, and he told me that this field traditionally has struggled to really perform well, even with having the irrigation and the water environment taken out of it. On the bottom left-hand side, you'll see those hybrid versus population. On the bottom right-hand side here, we've got 2 ear checks. If you see the black dots here, that's where we were, location in this field when I set the screenshot. So we were right on the border between DeKalb 4727 and Cropland 3614, 2 defensive hybrids we had up here, and we're sitting at about 26,000 population. So my question to you, Jeff, when we were in here, when we were doing yield checks, we got into some areas that were obviously very tough. We walked up the hill from the road here, we got into sandier soil, and we started seeing these defensive hybrids perform really well. What does it mean to you on your farm to be able to take those traditionally poor performing areas and turn them into these type of checks? For my notes, we had 3 different defensive hybrids checking over 170 bushels at 25 to 26,000 population.
Well, excuse me, it was really awesome to see that because that's the areas in our farm was the driving force in choosing the multi-hybrid system because we had seen the combine monitor going through the better areas of every field that we had, consistently running that 230 to 270 range, and I knew that there was going to be tough to push those areas any harder than what we had with 30-inch rows. But the places that I was really falling short, especially on this field, was on our higher elevation areas where water holding capacity was a little bit on the downside. We had the organic matter there, but this field before last year had been 5 years of corn on corn, so we knew we had the organic matter there. But we couldn't get those areas to jump over 50, 60, 70 bushel. You go to the top of the hill and drop the population down with our single hybrids. But we found issues where Chad backed me up on this. Chad Jessen is my agronomist. I call him and say, Chad, I've got going down the field between 2 irrigator pivots, and I'm on top of this ridge, and I've got good corn. We've got 26, 27, 28,000 final stand population, and my yield monitor is hanging between 80 and 115. And it's never been dry all summer. I said, what do we do, Chad? disease issues, we got problems, we gotta figure this out. And so we came up with the theory that we're not planting the right hybrid on those areas. And I've been kind of watching this multi-hybrid thing in the background, and I made the decision this year, that's what we're gonna pick up our gain. If we can pick up 20, 30, 40 bushel in those areas, they're gonna help out overall with the field averages, because you're not gonna carry your 240 or 270 down as far as you would have if it would have been only growing 80 to 100 bushel corn in those areas. So if they're field checking in the 160 to 175 range in those areas, I'm already very happy with the success that we've seen. And I think it's even going to carry over the plan too, because I think we can learn from these. We even were talking about it when we went out there and hand checked, and we don't even really have any tip back on some of those areas. So we probably even bump the population in those areas with the defensive hybrid, where before we were way overpopulated with our A hybrid. Wouldn't handle the pressure.
Sure. So, not necessarily by design here, but we do have the check strips we've talked about being so important, whereas we ran out of the seed load up that was in the corn planter about halfway through the field. We loaded up a new A and B hybrid. So we've got seed data here on 4 different hybrids in this field, and that's going to be able to help drive those seeding recommendations for the next year. And some of these ears, like Jeff alluded to, were just, you couldn't find any healthier plants. We were really astonished. As we walked up this hill, we had put on, I think you said 70 hundredths the day before, and as we walked up this hill, we got into this new MTD zone, and it was dry. We walked in the field, we were in moist conditions, the ground was nice, and what we'd expect for a hybrid A zone. And as we walked up this hill, it dried out. We started seeing rocks and sand on the topsoil, and true testament to Chad Jessen, as agronomist, our agronomy team in general, and the MTV, and classifying these zones and assigning the right populations to them, because as soon as we got into this zone is when we saw that different soil type, and we saw these plants really flex extremely well. So we're pretty happy to see that, and also amazed at the same time. Some of these ears went 42, 44 long. That really kind of answered, we touched on it a little bit, the next question here. Your motivation going into this decision-making process. We didn't have stellar corn prices to start out this year. We actually had the best corn prices after the plants had been in the ground for a month and a half. Turning this corn planter into basically 24 individual planters, as we like to call it, being able to assign its own downforce, and now being able to assign the hybrid per row basis. Was that part of that decision-making process for you, or what really motivated you to take this step towards multi-hybrid?
Well, I guess the motivation for me was growing more bushels, because we knew that we're probably in a down cycle with the prices the way they are, and our inputs aren't backing up anymore. And landlords still remember the 12, 13 crop that we had, and $7, $8 corn, and they're still thinking, this is going to come back someday. So for me, it was to pay more dollars per acre. And I knew that where we were dropping the ball was on our hybrid B areas. So that was, I knew that we could get better in those areas. I knew that we couldn't push the A any harder in those areas. The worst thing you can do to determine selection is sticking on defensive soils and then drop its population from 38,000 down to 24,000 and expecting to, create a high yield environment. It just isn't happening. So that's what we were focusing on. And we used to pick a hybrid based on field, and now we're picking a hybrid based on tenth of an acre. We go through our field, we look at the map. We've got, in a traditional field, we've got 6 to 7 zone maps. The zone areas in the field, and the bottom 3 or 4 would be defensive hybrid, and then it picks out how many units you need. I mean, it's a very easy system once you're done and brings you up to speed on it. I mean, I go into town, get seed, I plow, and have enough seed to do field 1 and field 2, and I mean, it was down to sweeping the corners, trying to finish up the last couple of rounds. So
That's what we strive for here. Got a little bit of a collage thrown together just real quick. Another downforce map here from Jeff. So we'll see, obviously, getting down towards these low bottom areas where there was water, potential water. You work some more tillage in the ground. We talk about the planter being able to lift those rodents out of the ground. When we took this much tillage in a field, there is no one downforce setting that would have come close. We would have been lucky to maybe hit it right 50% of the time, whereas we were able to match the environment with correct down pressure. You'll see here again the UAV image ear checks. It all has its place in this farming system. It's not that type of farming where we throw it in the ground and we spray it and we go to the lake for the rest of the summer and we hop in the combine and we combine it. It's a different approach to farming. We're out there constantly looking at it, checking it, seeing what we can do to make a better decision and also learn from it. So the last question here, this is what we saw earlier with climate. This is a general report for planting summary at the end of the day. So this field had 5 different hybrids, really 4. And Jeff came back in and finished up a couple low areas later on in the season with a couple tenths of an acre. Well, 4310 had 1.35 units total for 3 acres. We'll see, we're going to have great data on 3611, 3614, 4679, and another one that's not on the bottom here is 4727. Jeff, I'll ask you, and I'll turn it over here to a couple of seed representatives that we have in the room as well. Having this type of data across multiple varieties and different soil types, with combine yield monitor data coming in here in a couple of weeks, what does this do to help you make decisions for next year?
Well, I guess it's gonna show us if we made the right decisions, and it's gonna help us build data for next year. It's all about the data collection. Everybody's pretty much alluded to it through the talks this morning, and it's gonna show us which hybrids did better. We've got side by sides on both B and A in this particular field, and we can look at farm averages for both of them. So maybe we'll figure out in this field with elevation of what it is, we can figure that 3614 beat 4727 for some reason, so we'll know that for next year. It will get Chad and I more trust and faith in him, which I've got a lot of it in him already. That was one of the determining factors too. Also put the planner together. I would have never even thought about this when I was doing the summer. Without MZB and without Chad, and he wasn't real excited when I called him and told him that we were going to go ahead with it because it was going to be more work for him. But he was always there, got me on the spot, and Natasha was probably ready to shoot me too because we were doing some last minute changes because what we had ordered, what we had been planning. It's just going to make things easier for going into next year. And every year we can figure that 96 to 102 hybrids in this area, and we've got side-by-side data, and it's just going to make us be better in what we plan in the future. And I'm already really happy with what we found in the hand checks. Hopefully in 3-4 weeks we get out there with the combine and corn. It's only going to solidify what we found in the field already, and I'm super excited to see how things are getting working on a side-by-side basis.
Perfect. Now I'm going to extend this question. To my right here, I have Chris from Cropland and Matt from Cal. For you as seed representatives here, having this amount of data on his farm, coupled with your respective answer plot and FTN data, how much of an improvement, where can we, is it limitless for us to be able to take this type of planning forward with your respective hybrids and being able to place the best of both worlds in each field?
Correct. I'm Matt Sandy, I'm the Decal Basborough rep. I guess one big thing that we look at, we do a few FTNs. You see a lot of plot data out there right now. Well, the plot is actually limited to the distance we go. So with these FTNs, we're actually going all the way across the field. So you're actually taking a place on your quarter where you might have 4 or 5 different zones. And then we can collaborate seeing, we might put 8 different varieties out there in that zone, and we can collaborate with MTB, putting those specific varieties that are successful in those zones, and getting the results that we're looking for.
Like Dustin said, Chris Redfield with Winfield or whatever. So what we do is like the FTNs or whatever. We've been studying them at the answer plots, our brand and DeKalb Asgro's, and with that, you know, we got like U.S. wide is 2 million data points on all this stuff that we can help. So Chad feels more comfortable and Jeff feels more comfortable making those recommendations. But then getting it down to the local level, I'm really excited about it myself because it's all about, like Jeff alluded to, in these tight times. It's all about return on investment for you guys, the grower, to make sure you're still here and successful in the future or whatever. So just putting all this data along with our 2 million data points and Monsanto's FTN trials and now getting that local growers through MZB and with wheat growers or whatever, it's building that and having true local data and not just throwing a bunch of garbage at it, which I think Dustin will allude to here in a little bit. But so that, I guess that's my feedback.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank Chris and Matt, and especially Jeff here. He's been outstanding to work with, very patient, very understanding for what we're doing with the corn planter, very trusting as well. I want to thank our agronomy team, especially Chad Jessen. It wouldn't happen without his hard work that he put in. And every time we get out there and we see the kind of hand checks, we'll ground truth it with the combine there, but to actually see these ears in your hands, see how they're performing in these zones. Anytime you get a definite win like that, it's a really big thing, especially in this market right now. Not a lot of great talking points, commodity price wise, but when you see these kinds of yields, you can still allow yourself to get a little bit excited. So,
Austin, we had a question. Earlier, how much trouble was it to manage the seed? You're taking off your planter all the time. How did that work with the seed tender?
Sure, I could probably let Jeff answer this better. He has a pretty good seed tender operation he's got going on here. Jeff threw us a little bit of a curveball too. He went and found a refuge tank for the front end of his corn planter, and he wanted more hybrid A than hybrid B capacity. Said basically I want to turn this refuge tank into the hybrid A extra hoppers here, so we had more capacity on the corn planter. So we did what we could, and Garrett Holler did an amazing job. He did a lot of the work on this corn planter. Plumbing it, making everything work together here. So we do have refuge going into hybrid A as well as the left tank, hybrid B being the right. And Jeff can talk a little bit about his tender operation.
Well, I've got a J&M dual 375 unit tender, and I went and had the stickers made so that you put hybrid A in the front box, hybrid B in the back, because it's only as good as the seed that you're going to dump in the planter. If you make a mistake and open the wrong gate, you're not going to know until you come to the time to fill again and say, oh, I should have had some more hybrid A and I should have run that all with hybrid B. So it does happen. I mean, you have to be mindful of that when you back up to the seed tender. I always chose to fill the A side first, which on my planter, if you're filling it from the back, it'd be the left side. I'm left-handed, so it made it a little easier for me. And I told the guys, I said, well, what was the first question? I said, so which side normally is the hybrid A on? And they said left. And I said, well, that would be good. It would be easy for me to remember. So I fill the left CCS tank, and then the refuge tank is also hybrid A. And then the defensive is hybrid B is on the right. And you just have to remember when you pull it up, when I was went to wheat growers and got my seed, and the same thing. You have to know that the pallet that they're bringing you is going to be either hybrid A or hybrid B, and the guys in Columbia first looked at me like I was smoking something because it was like, what? We don't know what hybrid A and hybrid B are. Tell us what number you want in the front, what number in the back. So after I was in a few times, they figured it out pretty fast. But that tank on my planter it was worth its weight in gold. I don't think I lost hardly any capacity going to this setup, and that was one of the things that really kind of was worrying me because I didn't want to lose any speed and efficiency of planting. I knew I only had a certain window to get to the top of the ground, and by adding that, I had another 25 bushel on the front and being able to put hybrid A in there. With the way it worked out on our farm last year, we planted about 67, 68% hybrid A, and the rest was hybrid B. And it sounds like a big swing, but you always gotta remember the hybrid B, the highest population that we're probably gonna put that in that environment is probably 28, 29, 30,000. Normally it's 24 to 25,000, and hybrid A is gonna be planted in that 32 to 38,000, so that's how you get the difference in the capacity. And I would put 2 hoppers or 2 seed boxes of hybrid A on, and 1 unit defensive in the back. And yeah, there's a few trips back and forth to town. The bigger the standard, the more seed you can haul. That got me by just fine, and I'm kind of my own guy. I don't have another guy to run against seed, so I was kind of concerned about that too. But it worked out pretty flawlessly. You just got to make sure you open the right gate, put in the right hoppers.
All right, we are a little long here, but that's okay. We got plenty of time for thoughts. I want to run over a few things we did before we turn it loose out of the positive breakout sessions here. The facility that you're on right now is wheat growers owned, maintained, run. Wouldn't happen without the mention of a few really great people. Gary Harrison has been an agronomist for wheat growers for many years. He officially retired, and then we managed to talk him into coming back part-time. His work with the interns up here in the summertime, Cheyenne Leonhardt, Katie Anderson stepped in to help out as well this year. Their work up here with Gary is without a doubt irreplaceable. We couldn't get this to look the way it does and perform the way we want it to without their help. So big thank you to them. But this is wheat growers, therefore it is yours. You're the members. You own part of this. You have a say in what we do. We want your feedback. On your table there, if you take out a couple minutes here before I turn you loose with lots of questionnaires. If you could please fill these out. Be honest. We know we need to do something better for screens next year. The lighting, it's too bright in here. Screens that's not working out, so we'll get that fixed. But answer those for me, and I'll run through the rest of this real quick. If you would like to take a tour or a one-on-one scenario, or even a group of people, especially if you're agronomists in attendance, please contact Precision Ag Specialist. Contact another agronomist or one of the agronomy leads around here. They can walk through these plots. This portion of the field is geared towards precision. We do have some agronomy stuff involved as well. We're all one family. And then out front, we have a lot more agronomy trials out front. So contact us if you want to go through stuff. If not, if you have something on your farm that you want us to take a look at, we're involved in trials. I've got a couple growers in attendance here that have trials on their operations. It's a very trusted relationship, and I'm really fortunate to have them. Our agronomy team is improving all the products that you see here today, and we constantly increase our research, and we focus a lot on the forefront of precision ag, trying to get first so that we can answer your questions, because you guys are only maybe half a day behind us when the next newest thing breaks. So we need to have a good eye towards the future, but also be able to maintain what we have going on currently. In the research, we do our best to keep it unbiased. We see a lot of different products out here. Some products we don't even represent, but we still will put them into our plots. And then if it shows good promise, that's something that we can do towards building a business relationship. We do it to keep it unbiased. Everything, like a lot of the stuff around here goes towards the way wagon, and those are published. It doesn't always show what we think it is going to show, but that data is, again, available to you. And South Dakota wheat growers, like I said, is blessed to have some amazing talent on board, and likewise carries a close relationship with the ag community. Those companies that you see here today, we've spent a lot of work with, a lot of time with, to make sure we help them better their products, so they can in turn help us provide those to you. So please do not forget that, and take advantage and talk to them once we look here. So wow, look how breakout sessions. In your folders here is a map of the plots. There's 3 breakout sessions here. They're in the center of the plots. The very north one will be Caleb Lynn and his team from Ag Leader. They're going to represent their new Seed Command lineup. Ag Leader totally rededicated themselves to the planter market. They've got a lot of cool stuff to show you. We also have the spider up there, which we use in the plots to do our research. So take a look at that rig. In the center here, we have next to the case sprayer with wide drops, we have Amy Pack with Rycard Electronics. On the front of that sprayer here, we've got 2 TAC row guidance sensors. And I'll tell you one thing, it made wide dropping, standing corn and shoulder high corn a lot better. We got 2 of our locations running those this year. This location and Langford location for one of wide drops. Take a look at that rig. Take a look at Jamie. He's got some row guidance done also. For you guys getting ready for harvest here, we have the TAC row guidance for combine heads. I'm talking more to that. In the south plot there, we have ground closure with intelligent ag, blockage monitoring and air cart monitoring solutions. We run those blockage monitors here at Wheat Growers on our Horse Andersons, and it has saved us a lot of money and probably a lot of money and complaints and headaches towards block runs and precision application of fertilizer. So definitely hit him over there. And with that, okay.
I got one thing Dustin forgot to mention, is the amount of time that he's spending with Jeff to get that project up and going. I want to thank Dustin and all the precision ag guys. I mean, anybody realize how many hours he spent getting that, and he's plotting to come out on Sunday. Dustin's out here, he just needs digging, whatever he's doing. So I want to personally thank Dustin and Lance and Beard and all that. Without you guys,